Hey YouTube. It's been a while.
Hey everybody, welcome to another wonderful MerlinCast, and I've got the co-host Tiefling back again. We are both tired and sick, so you know that there's going to be so much energy tonight. Got the water ready to go. And
Crisp.
very crisp. And
Professional, don't mention it. Professionals.
oh yes, there was no water. We're so professional. We don't need water after like 30 seconds. We don't need it.
Professionals.
But in addition to that, I decided we're not really going to react to much news tonight because it was planned. Also because my browser is just acting up. Slow internet.
Once again, professionals. The internet's fine.
So this is a professional.
The internet is fine.
Professional.
We have decided to not use it by choice.
Yes, it was completely our choice. But it's good though because we have a couple things we want to just get started off with, and I wanted to go a little more in depth to something that I know a little bit about you, man. But I don't really know a lot of the details of it, and that is your favorite superhero is Batman's former sidekick, Dick Grayson. You like him in general, but especially when it gets to the Nightwing persona. Why is that exactly? You said there was a little bit more of a personal reason for it?
Well, there's a personal reason mostly, but why I choose Robin originally over liking Batman.
Because you don't hear that too often. Most people don't say, Robin's my favorite, you know?
Well, it gets super personal, so like decide afterwards if you want to cut it just for whatever.
If you watched a little bit of the last one, I did edit the stuff out, the stuff about the inappropriate stuff. Because they started off talking about some pretty risque stuff.
We need that YouTube monetization.
Oh, so much.
All right.
Go ahead.
So when I was growing up, I lived like directly next to my best friend's house.
Okay.
And he was 3 years older than me.
All right.
So whenever we did superhero stuff, his favorite superhero was Batman. So who did I get to be?
Batgirl.
Yeah, obviously. I was Robin.
Okay.
I was always Robin. It was like, oh, hey, we're watching a movie. When Batman does cool shit, he gets happy, and okay, Robin gets to do some cool shit. Yeah, man, what's up? I'm in there. That's greatness. And then a little show called Teen Titans came out.
I've heard of it.
Robin was the shit in that show.
He really was.
Absolutely the best version of Dick Grayson for a really long time.
But we often joke about how it's basically little Batman. Is it really Dick at that point?
Yes and no.
Okay.
Because you can see what makes Dick Grayson in there. Mm-hmm. If he was just Batman, there would be none of the episodes where he takes his group team out just for pizza. Or like they're running around doing just random shit because somebody wants to do something. Mm-hmm. It's what a small, basically a kid thinks a good leader is if you grew up under Batman's shadow.
Okay.
It's him trying to be Batman desperately and figuring out that it doesn't work for him.
All right.
Then growing up, going back, still being treated like a sidekick, kind of like understanding that this isn't what I want. Like, I think I'm ready. I'm ready to get out there. You don't need to treat me like this. Mm-hmm. Going to fucking Bloodhaven, a worse place than Gotham in many ways.
Pretty bad. That's why it got destroyed.
It got nuked because of how fucked it was. Mm-hmm. But then he adopts the new persona. Mm-hmm. Well, obviously, he is still kind of bankrolled by his dad, but what? Oh, you don't want to be Robin anymore, so I'm going to let you die in the street. Like,
well, no, I think that might have been a little bit extreme, but you're right. I guess, I'll be honest, does he still get some, I guess he does get some tech and everything from his dad?
He's still
the ward, I guess.
He's still his ward. They're still, while they're not on speaking terms, I'm 100% positive that him and Alfred still talk all the time.
That's true. I guess you're right. He probably has some access, but you got to wonder how much of it is allowed. Like, you know what? You get free reign.
Well, there's a reason as to why Nightwing's kit is, I have a motorcycle and these sticks, and sometimes I've found a way to make a batarang.
Yeah, I guess I wonder if that's kind of a growing thing, like, allowing him to sort of make his own way, which seems kind of ineffective, because if you want him to be his own crime-fighting force, you'd want to give him the best stuff, too.
But he doesn't need it. He's effective at what he's doing. Well, not to the same level, because Batman is Batman, I'll give him that.
Is there a term? Like, what is the specific term for his baton things? What do they call it? Are they the nightsticks?
Eskrima sticks, or it starts with an E. I've never known how to pronounce it.
Aren't they like just really hard, solid?
They're hard, solid tubes that he can, electrify.
Oh, he can electrify them?
Yes.
I didn't know that.
Stun batons.
Very similar to Daredevil's.
Actually, yeah.
I guess.
Yeah.
Except Daredevil's becomes like a whip or a cane or something.
Well, they were originally a cane and then modified it to be fighting, but that's neither here nor there.
No.
But after he becomes Nightwing, in a lot of stories, the direct reasoning is that Nightwing Dick Grayson doesn't have the drive to kill off all of his relationships like Batman does. He doesn't. He's not the kind of person that can sacrifice anybody. So what I like to affectionately term it. I know this isn't 100% correct, but it's basically if Batman had a heart. I know he does, but like, come on.
He's a pretty icy cold heart. It's true.
Yeah, it's still there. You can tell. I guess the best place you can go to see Batman actually being a good human being is the Young Justice universe, where he kind of,
he engages a bit more with his kids.
And he's kind of team dad.
A little bit.
He tries to get Superman to be a good father.
He's a better dad than Superman in that one, which is kind of weird, actually.
Yeah, I've always been drawn to it. It's like the kid growing up and kind of doing his own, like becoming the true hero that Batman always knew he could be, because Batman's proud of him.
Of course. He might never fully admit it.
Batman will never admit anything unless ordered to by the lasso of truth.
True. Which would be pretty great.
But also, Dick Grayson doesn't have the I'm Batman card to pull when backed into a corner, so...
Oh, yeah. You're right. He actually does fail sometimes. He has to be kind of creative. You're right. Batman kind of leans a bit too much on the fact that his greatness kind of allows him to get out of so many things.
Yeah. Dick Grayson seems more human.
Well, he's not as popular of a character. I guess technically hasn't been around in that form quite as long. So maybe that's why his legend hasn't really gotten to that point, because his dad literally cast the big shadow over him.
I think he's matured enough to not need the shadow, like the I am Nightwing kind of legend.
I guess I've always kind of felt that Nightwing was a bit more of a B hero. I don't know why. Like, I guess because he is essentially like a younger Batman in training, maybe I shouldn't think of him that way. Maybe it's been different in recent years, but the fact is I feel like it's up until recently, Nightwing hasn't had as much of a fan base. But then again, I don't know as much about it. So.
I wouldn't know. I've been part of Team Nightwing since day one. So I've been in there for a while. But
no, that's cool. But yeah,
recently what he's been doing is pretty great. I think he has one of the most human relationships in the entire DC universe with Barbara Gordon, with their love is messy kind of thing going on. My God, it's a shit show. But like, I don't know. He's just a more interesting character to me.
It's not because he's a bit of a joker. He's got the
there's a time and a place. And half the time, he gets that time and place wrong. But it's funny. And I guess it's not, as intense. It can get there, but like...
Yeah, I guess Batman generally is pretty dark. But I guess with his stories, you know more what to expect from him. Nightwing maybe not so much?
Yeah.
All right.
Can basically do whatever.
Okay.
So on one hand, there's the comics where he's leading a team. The other... And there's the comics where he goes back and helps out the Bat family in Gotham. Then there's just him doing stuff in Bloodhaven. There's variety. Well, I get that Batman also has variety. This has kind of turned into like why I like Batwing more than Batman. But I guess that was mostly the question that you had for me originally.
No, I don't.
Yeah, that's always the question you have, though.
What do you mean? No.
Yes, it is. It's like, yeah, you like Nightwing, but why don't you like Batman?
I never said that. Yeah, I have never said that.
You and Troll both have said that to me on multiple occasions.
All right. Well, I guess I should kind of defend that a little. All right, well, maybe I have made fun of you a little bit in the past because I kind of am like, all right, he likes the young sidekick, the cool guy with the mullet. The mullet is ingrained in my mind, the 80s mullet, which looks bad. Yeah, well,
since the cartoon.
That's like definitive Nightwing to me, okay? It's like
it's not anymore.
Okay, maybe so, but I guess, and I also have often, maybe I grew up with the whole Dick Grayson's kind of the plucky one, where Batman was sort of lessened by him being around his presence. Like, just knowing the historical reasons for why Robin exists, to make Batman a bit more universal, taking away from that dark grittiness that basically took him on the path to being the less edgy, really dark, serious superhero for decades. You can't
really blame Robin for Batman Forever, though. So,
what? No. Actually, you want to know something crazy on that note? Probably one of the best aspect of Batman Forever, I think, is actually the Robin storyline. Not even lying. I mean, yeah, Chris O'Donnell might have been annoying, probably a bit too old for the role, but I think he kind of was Robin. He was kind of Dick Grayson. His storyline with the tragedy of how his parents got killed by Two-Face and his relationship with Val Kilmer's Batman, legitimately the best thing about the movie. It's the only really good thing about the movie. I'm sorry, I don't like Jim Carrey really that much. It's too much. It's too much. But anyway, yeah, I mean, I've always liked Batman. He's one of my favorite superheroes, and I guess it's because I really like those dark, brooding stories, and I like how vicious his villains are. I will admit, though, most of his comics are not exactly fun.
Yeah.
Like, sometimes they're fun, depending on who's writing them, but there is always that, like, even in the Hush storyline, which is a lot of fun stuff, a lot of villains teaming up with different people. You've still got, the memories of Joker killed everybody, I gotta choke him to death, and Hush, like spoilers, you're my best friend, you betrayed me, I hate you for what you are. It's like,
I gotta steal your face.
And I gotta, pretend, and then we gotta bring back Jason Todd back from the dead as a zombie. It's like, it's fun, but even in the fun stories, most modern Batman is very serious, it's dark, and maybe that is a bit much. Some people have complained about that maybe Batman's not that fun, and he can be misinterpreted and turned into, the Dark Knight movies, where it's, no sense of fun.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of modern Batman has kind of been misinterpreted.
Honestly, maybe Batman stories need more Nightwing aspects. They need him to lighten up a little more. I mean, I've always kind of said that I like my Batman dark and gritty, but maybe that can get old.
Batman needs to get dark and gritty when the time calls for it, but Jesus Christ, man, it's a guy and he robbed a liquor store. You don't need to throw him off of a cliff to find out where the Riddler's new illegal coin printer, what?
What?
You know what I'm saying?
You're right. Maybe he should just laugh a little more.
Maybe he should just fucking ask him, because you're Batman, and he'll tell you.
Instead of breaking his arms and crushing him.
Oh my God, it's oh God, no! Where is I would have just told you. I don't want to die.
You know what I secretly believe about Batman and all the Gotham criminals? I kind of feel like secretly nobody takes him seriously in his outfit, because he's a grown-ass man running around in tights dressed like a bat, beating people up because he's got issues. And I think literally everyone must know this, but they are afraid of him because he's fucking crazy. They're afraid he's this guy running around as a bat's gonna kick my ass.
He's gonna fucking kill me.
They're not afraid of how he looks. They're afraid of what they know he's gonna do, because he's off the wall. That's what I think it is. I think no one.
I think a lot of the ways that he's portrayed, they can make him kind of scary.
If he's in shadows and he's I can see it done, but you know what I mean, the standard bat outfit where he's
a dude in some tights. I think that they kind of really, really backed away from the dude in tights motif.
It's kind of more have him in black armor.
Yeah,
no,
which makes more sense for what he does.
My favorite design for him though was probably the gray and blues from the 70s. I don't know why. I really like those. I don't with the
It's a very minimalist design.
It is, and I think it can work pretty well in certain panels. But yeah, basically, I like Batman. I'm glad you liking Nightwing is fine. It
used to be.
It's just yes, it did. Yes, it did. It was not that big of an issue. But the thing is, it sticks out to me because it's just such a unique thing. You're literally the only person I've ever met that said Nightwing was their favorite superhero. So it's unique. Like I like that. Gimli, his favorite superheroes are like Thor and Captain America, the Punisher, and Green Lantern. I've never heard anybody say those are their favorite superheroes. But I like that because it's unique. Mm-hmm. So I mean, my favorite superheroes are Batman and Spider-Man, and I guess Daredevil. They're not
Daredevil's the one little sneaks in there.
Now Daredevil sometimes I say is my favorite superhero, but Spider-Man I grew up with them, and Batman very similar too. But I also really like Cyclops.
No, you don't.
I do. I like
Cyclops.
I do like Cyclops.
No one likes Cyclops.
I do. I like his power. I like that he shoots people with his eyes.
Concussive lasers.
Concussive force blasts with his eyes. Cyclops is dumb, but I still like him. I like him because he's a dick, okay? Yeah. And I like his bad costume. His really bad blue onesie with the big yellow belt. And the skull cap.
It's really bad.
It's so good.
It's the worst.
It's so good. Anyway, all right. We're getting away from superheroes now. I guess we could talk a little bit about Dragon Ball because, we got to talk about Dragon Ball.
We're contractually obligated.
I'm contractually obligated by my association with the Phantom Group and all my other YouTube friends here to talk about Dragon Ball once in a while. So, apparently Universe 6 got killed.
Yeah.
Spoilers.
A
couple of Gobbledigots away.
A couple episodes ago, Goku kicked the ever-living shit out of the fusion of Kale and Caulifla, which was called Kefla. I showed you the...
Oh, yeah, reacted to that. Yeah,
the Kamehameha wave.
The sliding Kamehameha.
And then in this week's episode, Gohan fought the remaining two members of Universe 6, who were two Namekians from Universe 6, that in order to get ready for the tournament, absorbed all of the other Namekians.
To become the true Super Namekian.
Just all of them. Just like, hey, we need to fight for the universe's survival.
Did they show that?
Yeah.
Did they all hold hands and go, ah?
They might have, but it was kind of like it showed them, like, in like a flashback, kind of like absorbing
each other.
Like,
Namekians are weird.
Yeah, but they kicked the shit out of Piccolo. It was bad, and then Gohan got real mad, and at the same time, Goku eliminated Universe 2, the Love universe with Ribrianne, one of the most universally hated characters in all of Dragon Ball Super.
Oh, no.
Gohan shot off a Kamehameha wave that eliminated both of the Namekians. Okay. So, two universes got eliminated at the same time.
And if they get eliminated, they are destroyed, right?
They're not destroyed. They're wiped from existence.
That's worse.
They don't die. They don't explode. They don't exist.
And so all right, that's actually happened, and
yes.
There is no way to undo this unless the gods willed it, right?
Unless you make a wish on the Super Dragon Balls, which there is.
All right. Just explain this to me because this is one of the things that's been bothering me about Super. It's kind of all right. Does Goku care about this?
Yes.
Okay.
Like a lot.
Okay, because for a while
this is his fault, and he feels terrible.
Because for a while he was just like not seeming to give a crap about it, and I was.
They undid most of Dragon Ball Z's character growth for Goku.
It pissed. That was one of the issues. I was like, why is Goku acting like a complete irresponsible idiot right now?
So that the tournament can happen.
And do you know why the tournament's happening? Do you know why that is? I found out recently why that is. Yes, because apparently tournament arcs are the best-selling arcs, and yes. And
bread.
I thought the first tournament was fine. Like, it was fine.
Universe 6-7 made sense as a tournament because there were two idiot brothers arguing.
Yeah, and it was basic. It wasn't that big. It was fun. It was some cool fights. But like, we had the other arc. Was it the Goku Black arc?
Goku Black arc,
which actually was pretty interesting. It's probably the most interesting arc we've had so far. And then we go into the tournament, which from what I've seen and from what I've been told, is kind of, a lot of people are mad about it. It's like really repetitive. The fights are so damn quick. They're so damn quick.
The fights are quick. Power scaling means nothing anymore. Just that there is tension.
Well, power scaling's always been a bit of an issue.
It's at its highest here.
Well, I kind of felt like they were at the point where they had to get less powerful somehow to make it interesting again. Because all right, it's the issue they ran into after they defeated Frieza, which is why I think a lot of people would say it would have made sense for them to end after Frieza, mostly because, and you probably noticed this too, after you get to a certain point where you can blow up planets with your battles, when you start going back and not doing that, it seems less impressive. Like the battle between Gohan and Cell, for instance, they must have been holding back because the planet could have been destroyed easily because they're so much more powerful than Frieza and Goku were.
Neither of them were aiming at the planet.
But it's not just about that. Remember, like literally just the sheer impact of like the blows upon each other. Just the combat itself was destroying the planet. Okay, maybe there were some ki blasts.
I'm going to kind of intervene and say that the fact that Namek's core exploded and the planet was literally blowing up.
All right, well, I guess Frieza did blow a hole in the planet. Okay, maybe.
And then the planet itself was blowing up because it didn't have a center anymore.
Well, all right, okay, that's fair. But my point is that I feel like they were significantly stronger than Frieza and Goku were at that point.
Mm-hmm.
So their battle should have wreaked more destruction on Earth than it did. Like, they were constant. I guess maybe they have more control over their ki.
Yeah.
So it didn't seem like that, but that's probably what it is. But my point is, it seems less impressive to keep doing fights like that and not have it happen. And then they went the other way with Boo, where he was just destroying planets literally left and right. Mm-hmm. And then they're kind of dialing it back again and still upping the power.
They're putting stipulations on characters for the tournament, and then Goku Black, or aka Zamasu, wanted the planets intact, but wanted all mortal life gone. So he was definitely his entire goal was to eliminate mortal life to save nature and existence.
Well, that's what I mean.
So he was deliberately not trying to blow up the planet, just kill all the people on it.
Yeah, I mean, and that's a little more interesting, and I think he was a bit more interesting of a villain, honestly. Mm-hmm. But then again, we go back to this arc here where it is basically tournament-based. And, well, how much longer do you think it's going to be going on? How many?
There are 13 minutes left in the tournament, but the arc itself, which is not called the Universal Tournament arc, it is called Universal Survival. So the tournament itself probably has 5 or 6 episodes left, I would call it.
Wow.
It has 13 minutes left in it. I don't know how long they can milk 13 minutes. I'm going to 100% call that Frieza. There's 5 minutes left. Frieza doesn't know what a minute is. What the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah, you're right. If they can expand, how many episodes was the 5 minutes?
Oh, like a month or two?
Wasn't it like 20 episodes?
Yeah, it was ridiculous. The Universal Survival arc is ending in March.
Okay.
Whether or not the tournament will last until March, I'm betting that something is going to happen pretty soon. That's going to overshadow everything.
There might be something that interrupts it, and it's actually
maybe the wish that's made after the tournament is over causes something to happen. But that's just me being hopeful.
Oh well, why are you being hopeful of that?
Well, I think the easiest and probably the most straightforward thing that's going to happen is Universe 7 wins. Goku or whoever in the universe makes like a broad statement for their wish that they wish all of the universes that were destroyed to be brought back.
Okay.
The god that interprets, it's like Porunga, how Porunga needs to be spoken to in Namekian. They need to be I forget what this new dragon's name is, but needs to be speaking in the language of the gods, which none of the Universe 7 people speak, so they need to have a translator. who they're translating through is going to take that literally, make that the literal wish, and then some universe that was destroyed for a good reason comes back that has villains in it.
That'd be kind of cool.
That would be interesting. And then they need to gather people from different universes to build the team to fight that enemy. That gives us a universal hopping kind of thing going on.
Which is what I felt the original plan was going to be when we found out those other universes. Thought they were going to go to those other universes and do shit.
Yeah.
That's what I thought when they first revealed
I
it.
100% am sure that we're still going to planet Salada, which is the home planet of the Saiyans, which still exists in Universe 6 because they were a peaceful race.
Peaceful Saiyans.
Yes. With no tails.
Okay. That's how they get away with it. You know what, just going off of that a little bit, I remember we talked about this once on an old cast, but okay, if you could make your next ideal Dragon Ball arc, you could get one more before it's all done, what is the one thing you'd like to see happen? What story? What conflict? Just one. Little things can happen in it, but
like it's the last arc.
And doesn't that necessarily be the last one, but let's say there's like a dozen arcs or something coming out. What's one you definitely want to see? What do you want to see?
I want to see Vegeta, Goku, and Gohan go to planet Zadala and interact with the other Saiyans and do stuff in Universe 6. Because Vegeta needs a planet of Saiyans to rule over if he's going to continue to call himself the fucking Saiyan Prince.
I thought he was done with all that.
No.
Has Vegeta gone backwards a little too? Because
no, he's gone leaps and bounds forward. He decided instead of training to stay with Bulma while their daughter was born.
Well, okay, I think he's developed in some ways. Like he cares more about his family. That's the best thing about Vegeta.
His friendship with Goku took like leagues back. It was since the end of Boo.
Well, that's the thing I wanted to ask you. Is I thought some of the best character development for Vegeta was him accepting that Goku would always be better.
Mm-hmm.
That he would never be able to catch up to him. But for the show to continue,
he needs to try
that rivalry. So it's like, how do they handle that? Have they talked about it at all?
Yeah, Goku gets a form first, and then Vegeta struggles and gets it later.
But like, I mean, I guess he's just gonna keep trying. I guess it's like Goku is just sort of that pinnacle for him to keep pushing himself.
But which is why he'll never be stronger, because he never does anything like. Goku fights. He's Goku and he likes to fight.
Yeah.
And Vegeta fights. I want to be stronger than Goku. So guess who's always going to be stronger? Because one person has motivation that will quit eventually.
Yeah.
Because if he gets stronger than Goku, then all right, I'm good. And Vegeta has no more character.
Well, he has character. He's just not as
interesting.
I guess
driven.
He's just like, I'm here to fight. Well, you know who else wanted to get better than Goku for a long time?
Who?
Tien. Yeah.
Okay.
Apparently he got shit on not too long ago.
Yeah, he got shit on since this little thing called Dragon Ball Z started.
What's Dragon Ball Z?
It's niche. It'll come up in... I think it's getting its first arc.
1990
fall 1990.
Oh, you're right. Tien's been getting the shaft since the
everybody
Saiyan
except
show.
for Goku and Vegeta has gotten the shaft since.
What about Piccolo? Didn't Piccolo get to do anything cool? Except, I guess he got his ass kicked by those other.
He got his ass fucking handed to him.
Why is he there?
Gohan's been saving him the entire tournament.
Like, in all honesty, was the only reason other people were invited to the tournament because of fan service?
Probably.
Because, like,
it should have just been Goku, Vegeta, and Gohan.
What about Boo?
Boo's asleep.
He's still asleep?
He was asleep again because fuck it.
I thought he would have been back by now.
No, he woke up since the other tournament. And then he was awake during the Goku Black arc, which took place in the future. And then they came back and they were going to do this arc.
Does he just not want to be they know that they can't have him in tournaments because he'll break their damn plot. But it's not so hard to write somebody that's stronger than Boo.
If he's asleep, then I think the only way that they're going to get away with it is that his connection with Oob is draining his power, which is making him more sleepy. But, that's the only thing that I can think of they could do.
You know
it would be good.
You know who was asleep for a while, to give the characters of the times, opportunities to do something and then came back? Yusuke.
Yeah.
Yusuke was asleep for like a good chunk of the tournament, and that was good. It meant they had to what are we going to do without him? And then he comes in to help out. I mean, granted, it should be Goku, not Boo.
Yusuke had a whole lot of character, too. He was still his own dude.
Yeah.
They got away from the bland shonen protagonist pretty hard with Yu Yu Hakusho.
Yeah, which is kind of why I'm still surprised that show's not more beloved. Like, I feel like when I talk to people that are anime fans, everyone seems to appreciate it, but I feel like there's like this big audience as a whole that missed it because apparently back in the Toonami days, Yu Yu Hakusho was always overshadowed by Dragon Ball Z.
Well, I think the problem is that Yu Yu Hakusho tried to stay like one-to-one with the Japanese stylings of it. There are, even in the English dub, there are times when there's no background music. There's just characters staring at each other and they're building up tension. Whereas back then you needed to have the fucking hardcore guitar riffs going on at all times, and even characters that don't have their mouths moving, you gotta show the back of their heads so they can have conversations. And
there was always that. He's referring to the old school of dubbing, particular the Dragon Ball Z original Funimation Bruce Falconer dub, where you have literally go back and watch it. It's like there is not a single second where there is not someone talking. There's a sound effect, and there's literally always music. Like 95% of the time, they
it's hardcore guitar riffs too. It's not even like
it's hardcore guitar riffs. It's like techno, and it's
like light, like
pianos,
pianos, or like wind instruments or some shit. It's something. It's always something.
And I mean, don't get me wrong. I guess when they were aiming it towards kids to keep their attention, but like.
No, it's impossible. It's just impossible.
That is one of those things that did bug me, that you're right. Whenever they show the back of a character's head, in the Japanese dub, they wouldn't be saying anything. It might just be a moment of silence, but they will add in like a random like pun or something like my favorite, I don't know if I told you this, my favorite like mistranslation or like an added in line that didn't need to be there was actually the Goku versus Frieza fight. You know what I'm talking about? There are a bunch of them.
Yeah, but I'm trying to pick one.
But like literally, they were fighting, and this is after he's met Frieza. This is after Vegeta's been killed. This is well into their fight, and then randomly, like Frieza shoots him with a laser beam and almost hits Goku, and then he lands. And he's like, "Oh man, what's your deal?" And you understand why there's so many issues with that line.
Okay.
What
it's perfect.
Like, what do you mean? Bruh, what's your deal?
Bruh, pass me another jelly donut, okay? Look, I'll eat it with my pizza, long, thin strips of noodles, my pizza.
Who was the biggest offender of that? Was that Pokemon?
Yes.
With Brock? Oh, I love my jelly donuts.
Those were rice balls with red bean paste.
Even as a kid, I was like, those do not look like any donut I've ever seen. Were they so afraid that, like, say, rice ball people...
I'm going to turn my frying pan into a drying pan. Because he put it on his head to get out of the rain.
You know what? They were entertaining. They were very entertaining. The Indigo League. Small
children.
Hey, I liked Pokemon back in the day, but I know that
I like Pokemon now.
What was it the show they made that was with Red, the little miniseries or whatever?
Pokemon Origins.
That seemed pretty cool.
Yeah, it was very, very good. Then they made the X and Y anime, which was like somehow a show.
Okay.
With like plot and like things mattered, and Ash wasn't as Ash that he's been for a while. Like he did smart things, and there was a plot that happened. And
is that still the?
No.
Because that's still going.
They heard that people liked it, and then they kind of took that team and sent them to go do something else, and then rebooted the entire series.
Oh.
Yep. And now he's in Alola, and he doesn't know what a Charizard is.
So they finally rebooted it. He's no longer like...
No, then later Misty and Brock show up and they talk like they've been on adventures before, but still didn't know what a Charizard was.
Well, now they're just plot holes.
Yeah.
Whatever. It's better now, right? It's better, right?
No, the animation is terrible. Like, they had one of the best seasons they had in a long time, and they just fucked it. Like, really hard.
I guess they figured people are going to watch it no matter what. Just go back to the old format.
I feel like they realized that they don't need to try as hard anymore.
Well, they do make toilet Pokemon now, so...
No, they don't.
I'm not getting away from that.
There is no toilet Pokemon.
There was a toilet Pokemon.
Who's the toilet Pokemon?
There was a Pokemon you showed me that looked like a straight toilet.
There is no toilet Pokemon.
There's going to be.
No, there will not.
Yes, there will be. If they keep making Pokemon... There were literally Pokemon that are household products.
And? Bruh, Chandelier is amazing.
Chandelier?
Chandelure.
You know...
Because Voltorb is, so unique and interesting of a fucking idea. You know what? You know what took so much creativity?
Tell me.
Muck. Bruh, that is an Ekans. Yeah, that had a whole lot of design and thought put into it. That's a fucking snake, and its name is Snake backwards. Fuck you, they ran out of ideas.
Okay.
They've never had ideas. They're just doing whatever.
Well, alright, okay, I'll give you that. There were always dumb puns. It wasn't the most creative.
No, what do you mean dumb puns? Voltorb is a ball.
Well, look. Okay, the Pokemon...
A Magnemite is a fucking magnet.
Most of the Pokemon are animals. There's some version of animal and some...
What's a Porygon? What animal is Porygon?
It's like a bird. It's like
no.
It's a bird.
No.
It's a bird made of rocks. It's a bird.
It's a computer program. Because fuck you.
It's a hologram thing. It's made of polygons. Okay?
They've always been weird and out there and have had inanimate object Pokemon. Always. From day one.
What the hell is coughing? What is he?
He's Smog.
He is solid, right?
Yes.
He's a giant.
He's a giant floating cloud, solid cloud of poison. Let's give that to a 10-year-old child.
Pokemon was always great.
Yeah.
But the point is,
Pokemon will always be great.
That's a bold statement. Everything has its time.
I'm still having fun with it.
Well, is it consistently good, or has it gone ups and downs?
The game's stories have been absolute bullshit, but the new Pokemon that they've been introducing, for the most part, there's always at least 5 or 6 from each generation that are very, very top-notch. Everybody from every gen will have at least 3 or 4 Pokemon that they want to keep on their team, and that's all that they really need to complete the game.
Well, let me ask you this. With Pokemon, don't you think it's a little interesting that they managed to go so long without really changing the format? The games have basically...
Yeah, they really need to, though. They need to. Like, fans have started to get pretty mad.
Because, no, really, I mean...
It's good. I mean, it's good.
It's good.
I like Pokemon.
But, like, it has been basically the same for, like, 20 years, you know? It's basically the same types of games. Like, I think they should have more immersive, like... Remember, back in the day... They experimented a bit with things like Pokemon Snap or the actual tournament fighting games and stuff like that. We don't necessarily need those.
Coliseum, their weird open world RPG kind of.
We need something more along those lines. Like we live in an age now where we have what you're talking about later, games like Elder Scrolls or Mass Effect, where we have really immersive RPGs. We need something on that level, but with something like Pokemon.
I feel like they can do it.
I know they can. I just think they should. Do it. Let's move on to the next couple steps.
They are done with the 3DS hardware. The next main series Pokemon game will be on the Nintendo Switch, which gives them limitless possibilities.
Oh, speaking of which, we're talking about gaming a little bit. Well, we're going to talk about Mass Effect just a little bit here in a minute, but moving on, I haven't played any of it, but I don't know if you know this, but Gimli and I we're big fans of the Star Wars Battlefront games. They were PS2 back in the day. And I've asked him multiple times since the Battlefront release came out, asked you and a couple of my friends, like, should I get that? Is that worth playing? And there's like, or like there hasn't.
What do you mean? Like, they get the new ones from EA, or...
That's what, the recent ones.
No, don't support EA.
Well,
no.
yeah, well, and that's I know you're probably a little more involved with that, just with knowledge, because I know you game quite a bit. And EA has gotten a really bad reputation. I heard that generally I just heard that the new Battlefront was mediocre. I didn't have a PS4 at the time, so I was kind of like whatever. Mm-hmm. But then I heard that they're going to fix the problems.
Well, they fixed the gameplay problems, sure, but then 100% of like how you progress through the game and get new things for each character.
It's pay for play, right?
Yeah, it's a paid entry to a free to play game.
And I noticed that like a lot of the things that they literally hold hostage, like the leaders, the special weapons, all that stuff.
Darth Vader, Luke Skywalker.
Like that stuff is the stuff that you earn in the game.
Then the main story mode plot is apparently canon.
I heard about that. I watched a bit of it. There's actually like a really detailed story, which seemed kind of cool.
Then they kind of marketed that you're going to play as the Empire or whatever. Then about 2 missions into it, after you're done murdering rebels, the main character sees the Empire oppressing people and decides to defect. But she's a commander of an elite squadron of super stormtroopers. So she's at least needed to see them oppress 1 or 2 people, maybe, from the time it took her to become a commander of an elite secret squadron that answers directly to the fucking Emperor. You might have seen maybe 1 or 2 people get oppressed, maybe once or twice.
I might have. I was going to kind of argue, well, in Force Awakens, Finn did that, even though he was a stormtrooper.
He was a janitor, and that was his first mission on ground.
Yeah, they kind of just forced him in there after just raising him to be that way.
They raised him to be a janitor on base, and then he was like, "Oh, well, you have any combat training? You can hold blaster? Yeah, all right. Here's what we do.
You're right.
Why are we herding citizens into any field mission done by the Empire is fucking?
All right, I understand. You're right. If she's ingrained that much, it would be harder to believe that she'd have a change of heart. But that could make for interesting storytelling.
No, instantaneously, she then goes and is now best friends with Leia. Like they're shooting quips back and forth by like mission 6 or 7. Like they're old friends.
Yeah,
she's super trustworthy, and she runs in and saves Han Solo's life, and runs in and saves Luke Skywalker's life, and
that should be something that's worked through the entire game. Maybe next game they can be that way.
No, she's like that. Maybe 2 hours into an 8-hour campaign.
The sad thing is, I heard that the story might be the most interesting aspect of it for me.
I watched Angry Joe play through the entire thing. His comments aside, it's bad. It's bad.
Yeah, I watched a bit of his review too.
He live streamed when he was playing through the multiplayer, when he was playing through the entirety of the campaign. It's bad.
What about, does it have space battles now?
Yeah, but they were created by a third company.
Why?
Because DICE didn't want to do it? I don't...
Well, okay. Well, moving on. I am going to get to Mass Effect, but there was something I wanted to comment on that I thought was really cool. I know VR technology is getting bigger. Mm-hmm. And they've had a couple games that have been pretty good, but they're still working on it. I watched a pretty in-depth review of the Star Trek, what do you call it, bridge deck simulator?
The command simulator.
And it looks really good. Like, I heard it was really, really good. And
I didn't hear anything positive or negative about it.
Yeah, I guess maybe it's such a niche thing, because it is just, like, for Trek. But, like, from what I saw, like, apparently there's a lot of gameplay you can do. And it is, like, apparently the co-op works really smoothly, too. Like, there was nothing really majorly negative about it. I was really surprised. And apparently it's difficult, too. Like,
That's good to hear.
You can really, like, if you do make one minor change, you can mess everything up. And you can easily switch from different positions if you want to play by yourself, so... I don't know. I don't know if I'm ever going to get it, because it's probably expensive as hell.
It'd be fun to get if our group shared a singular console, but I don't have the one.
What is the console?
Gimli doesn't have the PS4.
Yeah, I mean, like, I think you can have up to 4 people play, and I just was like, if there was a way to make that happen, I think that would be really awesome, just to try it, because I heard good things about it, and apparently it's one of the best VR ones out so far, and I'm like, well, that's cool. Like, I saw the guy playing it, and I was like, oh, that looks that's not as clunky or lame as I thought it would be. Because I'll be honest, like, I feel like when I heard about that, I thought it seemed cool. Like, play Star Trek with your friends, like, that sounds really nerdy. But the way they demonstrated the gameplay, it looked like it could be kind of intense. Yeah. Like, I was like, that's pretty cool.
From what little I've seen of it, it seems to be pretty good.
But yeah, anyway, speaking of a game I actually have kind of played a little bit of, you and Gimli and Troll, everybody I know, we're all pretty big Mass Effect fans. Earlier this year, Mass Effect Andromeda came out.
It's a bad game.
Well, I played. I've only gotten past the first mission and a half. I'm on Nexus right now, interacting with the crew and going out to find.
Which writer did you choose, male or female?
I chose a female because I usually play male.
Do you have the default face for her?
No. I customized her. Honey Lemon helped me customize my character. I made her a redhead with freckles.
That's super great. The default female character's face might be like one of the fucking scariest things you've ever seen.
I forget.
It's I don't know if they've done an update to it, but at launch it was bad.
Well, I was looking into it a little bit,
bad.
and there are a couple of things I did notice that were some issues. Is it my imagination? And I know it isn't, but is it my imagination that even though this is the newest game, the animations and the character designs,
they're not good. They're not good.
They're not as good as the old ones, and they're also glitchier. Like, I'm watching people, and sometimes they'll glitch, and the hair, you can see through it, and it literally looks like just a she really likes art and character design. She's noticing it looks like they literally just put like a flat helmet and colored in his hair. It doesn't move like hair. And I try not to pay too much attention to that. I'm in the story, but even I'm noticing
I played
glitchy.
2 characters. I tried to originally this is Mass Effect, so I'm gonna play the first mission with one character and the first mission with another character. The female writer's annoying as shit. She's the worst.
Well,
she's the fucking worst.
I wanted to say I've been trying to play my character as nice. Okay, and I picked the character they've asked me the question, "Are you ready to do this?" And I'm saying I have a hard time. I take my time with these, and I'm like, all right, I'll say I have to be. Like, I feel like that's not dickish. Or like, I'm confident. I'm ready for this. And then you come off sounding like a dick. And then the next subsection was like, literally there was a choice of you have to do this, or it was like you have to do this or stop complaining. It was like there was no like positive way I could tell the character to do this thing. And every time I talk, I sound
like an asshole.
Like a bitch. Like a bitch. I sound like
she is an asshole.
Her voice actually sounds kind of like a bitch. Every comment I make, I'm like, why do I sound kind of like a bitch?
Playing through his male writer, he's not that much better, but I tried to be a sarcastic, laid-back surfer bro. Because he wasn't picked to lead the mission. His dad was, so he wasn't going to try that hard. And now he's in a position of power, and he's a nice guy. Okay. He's going to try his best. So but
you're playing your character different than mine. I'm playing her. She wants to live up to dad, basically.
Yeah, my character. I'm not my father, but I'm trying, and my best is my best, and I can give it 120%. But if I fuck up, oh God, well then we're all going to die. So sorry. And the voice actor kind of fit what I was trying to do.
Okay.
So I feel like it just made it a slightly better experience for me.
You completed it though, right?
I 100% of that game.
Yeah, Gimli and Troll.
Not like
you didn't do everything.
Not like fucking collectibles and all that. I did every single side quest that showed up for me, and I did every single main mode quest.
Okay. So you said it's bad. Why do you think it's bad? You don't think I'm going to finish it?
No, I don't. There's just... They messed up what a Mass Effect game should be. Well, you're going to get to a point in the game where you're going to be driving around on a planet's surface in your car, and then you're going to get out, and you're going to shoot a couple enemies, and you're going to collect a thing, and you're going to take it back to where you just came from. You're going to talk to a guy. It's going to start to feel like a Mass Effect game. You're going to get back in your car, and you're going to go to a different area where mobs spawn. Well, you're going to shoot a couple guys, and you're going to, you're playing it like an MMO.
Well,
enemies are randomly dropped into the field, and you're driving around and on basically your mount. Whereas in other Mass Effect games, it was a very, very linear experience.
Well, you could
the main missions still take place in areas like that where it's just a randomly wide open space where any shit can happen. I was playing through a main mission on one of the planets, and then one of their giant super beasts or whatever just kind of rolled through and insta-killed me.
Oh, wow.
And I failed the mission because it just was there.
Huh. Well, I remember you were telling me that they do amp up the exploration. You got to go out to the planets. That was a big part of Mass Effect. Those are usually side quests and stuff you could do.
They do, and the exploration is now...
Well, wait. Okay, you in the old games you were exploring a bit, but in this one you literally are going out trying to explore.
And I get why they did that. It's just that, 2 and the beginning parts of 3, like your exploration was, hey, there's a planet there. I'm going to shoot a probe at it, and if it comes back with shit that I won, please give that to me. But if not, I've got better shit to do. I'm going to go to this exact location and talk/shoot at this exact person, and here's the path to get to them. And then it's...
Well,
the combat is fun, and there wasn't that much exploration, air quotes, but I don't know, it just felt wrong. Also, the final boss is shit. It's the worst final boss in any of the series.
Well,
even worse than pick one of 3 buttons.
Well, going through from what I've played so far, I think it's kind of weird because it's like it is a sequel, but it's also sort of a reboot.
Also, the characters aren't as
memorable
or fleshed out even.
And I mean, like I said, I'm just going off what I've played so far, but it just kind of, I got this impression like they were trying to start off, like even that first mission is very reminiscent of Mass Effect 1, but it's very different because this one, it feels like we're starting, even though it is an established world, we're going in to another part of the galaxy where it isn't established, whereas in the Mass Effect games, even though you did explore and go to new places, there was this big collective culture. It was basically Star Trek. It's really what it was. All these different races you can interact with, and like even on the Citadel, I remember you could go in and talk to all these different people in the side missions. And this one, it just doesn't feel quite as fleshed out, even though it should be more of a fleshed out universe.
Everything is so empty.
Yes, and even the ship, Nexus,
even by the end of the game, when I've saved everybody and everything is good, and I have all the people that I can possibly have on my ship, everything just feels so lifeless.
And the characters so far don't seem to be quite. What's up with the Krogan? The main Krogan,
the old guy.
It's like he's like
he's yellowish.
He's got weird like tattoos.
He's old and insane and kind of racist and
I did. It's the most effeminate Krogan I've ever encountered. Are we talking about the same guy?
I don't think so.
He's the first guy you meet. He's one of the first people on the Nexus. He sounded
one
like
of the people on the Nexus is a female Krogan.
Is that a female Krogan?
There's a female Krogan that is in control of one of the sections of the Nexus.
Okay, so that is a female Krogan. I wasn't just imagining
That's not part of your team.
That's not?
No.
Okay.
She does not come in mission.
Okay, because I was about to say, if that's my Krogan for this game, that is...
No, he's her grandfather.
Okay.
And I didn't really go around with him because he was just, he wasn't Rex and he wasn't
the other
guy.
Yeah.
So I'm like, what do you have to endear for me? And then he treated me like an asshole. And I'm like, oh, okay. You can my shit.
I don't like the characters as much.
You haven't met anybody that is going to be going on to... Oh, the camera died.
The camcorder died. So if there's audio from that, I use that.
But basically, you haven't met any of the characters that are going to be going on missions.
So none of the main people on the Nexus come with me?
No.
Not the Childish Gambino lookalike? Not the...
He does.
Okay.
I don't... Have you got your ship yet?
I'm about to go out and search for the first ship.
Then you're gonna get your third companion, your first possible alien.
Oh, by the way, the villains are... I don't like the villains.
The villains are mediocre
at
at best. Oh, they're not rock people.
They're not rock people.
No, they're dumber than rock people. If they were rock people, they'd have a rock people culture that you could learn about. No, they're fucking stupid. I want you to finish the game so that we can complain about it together, but I think you're going to quit. I really do. And not because, like, oh, I can't finish it. Oh, because you'll get mad and you don't want to.
Well, I can always play Mega Man.
Which Mega Man?
I got the collection, all the Mega Man, first 6 Mega Man games. They're hard.
Oh, nice.
So that's a derivative. I switched back.
Speaking of that, Mega Man 11 was announced today.
No way.
Yeah, next Mega Man game.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
No way. When's it coming out?
Late 2018.
Sweet.
For every console.
Oh, that's so awesome. How long has it been? Since the last
years.
Hasn't 1010 come out like 10 years ago or something like that?
It was ridiculous.
Yeah.
All I know is that I am not that excited. Mostly because my favorite Mega Man games aren't main series.
Really?
They're not the Mega Man or the Mega Man X.
What? Mega Man X is the shit, though.
My favorites were the Battle Network games.
Why?
I don't know.
Huh.
I just really liked them. Like, with their gameplay kind of fit me better. I liked the dynamic between Land and Mega Man.
Huh.
It was my thing.
No, man. Well, to be fair, I haven't played them. But
they are very good.
Huh.
They are. Okay, they're very good after the first one. The first one isn't that great. Mm-hmm. It's not very straightforward. But after that, like 3, like the third one,
mm-hmm.
is probably my second favorite. Then, so 3, 4, and 5 are just great.
Huh.
Great games. 6 is weird. Just if I'm remembering correctly, 6 is the one where they split it into 2 games. One of them was Team Proto Man, and one of them was Team Colonel or whatever, and it just got weird from there on.
Huh.
But like 3 was when they really started to hit their stride, and it was a really good game.
Huh. Well,
I like them more than, for me, it goes the Battle Network series, the X series, and then the originals.
Right.
So it's my least favorite Mega Man, but I'm glad that there's anything for him because it's been way too long.
Yeah, that really surprised me because he's like one of those big platformer guys. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
That's really weird.
Capcom does not like money, apparently.
Yeah, and apparently the Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite, I didn't hear much about that.
Oh my god, it's terrible.
Really?
Yeah, it's really bad. It's really, really bad. Like, everyone was super excited for it.
I didn't even think the 3 was that great, to be honest.
2 is the best.
Still.
Mm-hmm. 3 was okay. 3 was playable. This new one is trash.
That's disappointing. Okay, what's a good game you recommend I play? Damn, why is everything bad?
A good game that I recommend you play is The Witcher 3.
Witcher 3?
Yeah, and you have...
Is it better than Witcher 2?
You have an Xbox One, you could play Witcher 2. But you have your fucking computer, you can play the original, but I don't recommend doing that. God damn, that is torture.
Really?
Just the UI on its own is torturous, and it's so difficult and non-user friendly.
Wow.
But I love the series. The lore is great.
Well, don't you want me to play Overwatch?
I do want you to play Overwatch. I think you'd like Overwatch.
You sure about that?
I think you'd have fun with Overwatch.
I don't know. Yes, I'd be willing to give it a try.
I think what you should do is fire up that PS4, get the .hack GU Last Recode collection, and have you some good JRPG fun.
I do like the .hack series. I do, actually.
Mm-hmm. That's what I'll recommend you do. The new Doom, if you haven't played that.
I did not play the new Doom.
The new Doom is great.
I haven't played the new Doom.
The new Wolfenstein, the Wolfenstein 2.
I never played
that. Start up with the most recent, like Wolfenstein, the reboot one.
I always looked at something like.
Yeah, that's really fun. Have you played any of the BioShocks?
I played the first one a long time ago.
I would recommend repicking up the collection for either the 1 or the PS4.
Infinite looks weird. It looks weird.
It's weird, but it's fun to play through.
It'd be interesting. The time travel stuff's wonky.
Yeah, they're still good games. You have Persona, but that's the time sink and a half.
I did want to play 5, but she wasn't interested. I got out to buy a copy because Base Everix let me borrow it for a little while.
Yeah, I don't know
I
why.
haven't played 15 yet.
15 is good. Its ending is sad for no reason.
A lot of Final Fantasies have sad endings, though, right?
They have bittersweet endings. This ending is sad as shit. Like, for no reason.
Damn.
Just no reason at all.
All right. Well, I'll take some of those around. I mean,
I have a lot more suggestions, but let's see. Dark Souls 3 is the easiest of all the Dark Souls games, but I really like it. What else is good that's out there? You have next-gen consoles, so you can try your hand at Xenoverse.
I did like Xenoverse, but I played the first one. I heard the second one was basically the same, though.
If you didn't finish the first one, don't feel like you need to go back and buy it. Just get the second one.
Really?
Yes.
Huh.
Dragon Ball Fighter Z is a new game that should be coming out too from Bandai Namco Works.
I did see that.
I think
that looked freaking amazing.
That game is going to be insane.
Oh, that's gonna be so good.
Me and Base are gonna go ridiculously hard at that game.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
Let me watch at the very least. No, fuck it. I'll play. I want to buy that. I do want to get that one. That looks so cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. I did want to check out Doom as well, but we've been talking for about an hour, so I do want to end it on one brief thing. My Hero Academia got the 3rd season.
Confirmed.
You told me you think that it is going to replace Naruto as like the most popular show.
Easily.
Yeah, a lot. I remember something.
They do. We talked about this before about what they do right that a lot of shonen get wrong, and that's power scaling. They have their power scaling correct. They can go from now until the creator drops dead. If they continue with consistent power scaling and accurately portraying characters' powers and coming up with convenient ways to introduce stronger and stronger opponents, they can go on forever. Like right now, this is getting into a bit of spoiler territory. I won't go into anything specific.
Spoilers. I've only just started season 2.
This is spoilers for stuff past with the show, has even shown.
Oh, it is a manga. Okay.
Yes. Deku has used what he is calling it full cowl 100%. You don't even know what full cowl is yet.
I don't.
But basically, you know how much of his power he's been using so far is nothing.
Very little, yeah.
It is, even when he's throwing full force punches, that's not even close to 100% of what he should be throwing out. Because the way that the way that One for All works is that it gets stronger with each person's passed on to. So Deku will be stronger than All Might.
Eventually.
Period. As long as he lives long enough and trains his body correctly, he will, without a doubt, be stronger than All Might.
Because it's been passed on, it's like, and when a person reaches their full potential, it gets added into what that other person can become. So it's
your potential is added to everyone else's potential, and it stacks itself. So the next person is stronger, and the next person is stronger, and the next person is stronger.
One for All is so broken.
Yeah.
Potentially.
But the way that they're doing it is that you need a body that can handle it.
Which is why he has to train.
Which is why they're showing so much training. And I think that that is kind of putting it in people's heads that Deku is working for his power and isn't just getting it because he's the protagonist.
And getting it because he is the Saiyan or he is the...
The way that they got it's a bit of a spoiler for you, but when I said full cowl,
yeah,
Deku learns how quirks work because he was always quirkless. You know how he's always turning on and off the power.
Yeah,
everyone's like
always has
on
at
all times, and so he learns to turn it on all over his body all at once, but enough that so he doesn't die. And then him screaming 100% is, I'm just going to do to someone as much as I can, even if my body explodes, and punch you in the face and see what happens. And then on his back, he has somebody with, I won't spoiler who she is, but with a super, super good kind of healing quirk, putting his body back together at the rate that it destroys itself. So he can fight a villain probably strong enough that All Might should be fighting him.
I like the villains so far after the assault.
The villains are great.
Really, who's the guy with the hands? The disintegrator guy? The guy's creepy.
The guy with the
The guy with the hands.
Okay, we're done here.
The guy with the hands. All right, but Hand to Magoo. But yeah, man, we covered a lot. Thank you for coming back.
I'll be back again next week if everything is going correctly.
That's cool. I think I know who. I might have a guest spot coming in too for next week as well.
Finish this professional as shit water.
Professional water. Actually, the water wasn't even cold already. I had to put ice cubes in it.
Dude, secrets. Shush. Production value.
Yes. Secrets are production value. Any final thoughts or anything before we wrap up?
No, that's what I had to say.
That's fair. All right, guys. Well, it's been a cool podcast. Hopefully see you guys next week. Comments below.